Max Kell, is Stephen A. wrong that the Cavs and Warriors ruined the playoffs?
Of course he's wrong about that. Of course he is. What did I say the
L.
other day? Yes, of course, the Golden State Warriors are going to win their series easily. Yes, of course, the Cavs are going to win their series easily, just as like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier were beating up guys on the way to their rivalry, on the way to their fight in the finals. Of course, their trilogy. Yes, that's what happens. But let's not act as though there's not amazing stuff going on in these playoffs. The Wizards and Celtics, you into that? Because I am. The Rockets and Spurs. Take last night's game. How good was that? I mean, if you're not into some of the best athletes in the world competing on a nightly basis as though their lives depend on it, then I guess these playoffs aren't for you. I don't know. I mean, you could always, like, binge watch Full House or whatever it is you want to do on Netflix, Stephen A. I mean, that's fine. I'll be watching playoff basketball because the dominance of the Warriors and Cavs is spectacle, although not competition till they meet each other, of course. And the other series are excellent competition. The playoffs are just fine.
Well, first of all, a couple of things that need to be mentioned. There's nothing wrong with watching Netflix. I will be watching House of Cards when it comes out later on this month. I ain't missing that. I ain't missing that. That's number one.
Yeah,
number two, with some television shows, whether it's Scandal, which had a phenomenal episode last Thursday, or whether it's the show Billions on Showtime, which might be the best show on television with Paul Giamatti. I mean, you talking about special television stuff going on. It's there. But now, back to the point. All I ask, Max Kellerman, and I know it's very, very hard because you usually don't listen. You kind of interrupt before a point is made, and I get that.
Oh,
all
I know.
I ask
if
is that
only
I
you had more time to talk on this show.
You see what's saying?
Let me tell you something right now. If only you had more time to talk on this show.
My retort would be, at least I got something to say, because who the hell knows what you're saying half the time.
You do, and you say it like 5 times. Go ahead.
I must say this to you. All I ask is that I be held accountable for exactly what I say. That's all I ask. What I have said is, A, the regular season was ruined. B, when it came to the playoffs, I did not say that there are not good playoff games. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching Washington versus Boston. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching Houston versus San Antonio. I've watched every game from start to finish, and not just because it's my job. What I've said is, when it comes to ruining the playoffs, the regular season, as is the case with the playoffs, I know none of these guys can mess with Cleveland and Golden State because of how dramatically the balance of power was shifted. That is what I have said. And there is nothing that has happened in these playoffs that has changed that. Are the games entertaining to watch? Sure it is. No question. Thank God there's no blowouts that San Antonio and Houston's competitive, because Washington has blown Boston out of the building the last 2 games. And that's just the way it is. What I'm complaining about is that I wish I had some suspense. I wish there was somebody who could lie to me good enough to convince me that they'd have a chance in the conference finals, and none of them can. That's what I complained about.
What you said was, I quote, "We're sitting here, we're waiting for the finals." That's the reality of the situation. That is what has happened to the game of basketball.
Yeah.
That clearly implies that you think the playoffs are no good because of the presence of the Warriors and Cavs.
No, that clearly implies exactly what I just explained. And I appreciate the researchers for the show giving you that quote, thinking it's going to help you. It's not, but I appreciate it.
You need to be quoted back because you say I don't listen.
I like being ganged up upon. It's all right. Very slick of you to get that info. It's all right.
You say, listen,
you are in trouble. Don't let me get some tape. Don't let me get some tape on you.
I already know your MO.
Right
You'll say something on Monday, and on Tuesday I say, no, I didn't say that, and because of one subtle distinction, you'll pretend that wasn't the message.
Wow.
So,
hold on. You're accusing me of that? Hold on. Did you just accuse me of that? On national television? I'm the one that changes my mind? Me?
Right. Oh, but when I change my mind, I say I changed my mind.
Yeah, when Max changes his mind, it's because the facts change. Let's be honest, right, Max? Am I correct?
Say that again?
You change your mind when the facts change.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I will freely admit it.
Sure,
However,
Molly, sure.
what I will do
Yeah, go
is
ahead.
I will have research spliced together a series of arguments where Stephen A. is arguing with himself. On Monday,
Whatever.
Tuesday, Stephen A. argues with Monday,
Whatever.
Stephen
Stop
A.
giving Alexa more work.
The beauty of me is that my reputation speaks for itself. I don't have to worry about this drivel spewing out of your mouth. Here's the bottom line, Max.
More quotes
That-
from Stephen A.
When
there was more suspense in the playoffs.
Warriors. The Cavaliers and the Warriors is what it's about, is it not?
Read
Is
your
it not?
quote.
Yes or no?
Max, read your quote.
Of course.
Go ahead.